Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Gina and I make videos about houseplants and houseplant related content, and I make videos every week. And thanks for joining me here today. So today's video is going to be a how I water my plants video. So over the last year or so that I've had my channel, I've had people ask me if I could show how I water my plants, I guess my routine you want to see, maybe what products I use, just what I do, how I water my plants. So that's what we're going to do today. So I don't know exactly how long this video is going to be. Typically it takes me, so we're just going to stay in this room, and this is my office, and I have tons of plants in this room, so it will keep us busy. So, you know, I may, depending on how I edit this, hopefully it won't be a super long video, but, you know, it does take me typically, I think, an hour maybe to do this room, depending on how thirsty these plants are, how much they need water. Not all of them always need water every watering session. So yeah, so we'll see how long it takes. But it's just going to be kind of a laid back, relaxing kind of video. If you have watering to do, you can do the same. Basically, I'll go over what goes into my watering in the beginning, and then the rest of it will just be some fun, relaxing watering time. Okay, so I kind of have a watering schedule. You know, I've always read, don't have a watering schedule. You don't want to have a watering schedule. And I think what they mean by that is, like, once a week, don't just blindly water all of your plants. Like, don't have a schedule. Like, every Friday you water your plants without, like, making sure they need water. So, but anyway, so I kind of have a schedule. So every Thursday and every Friday, I check in on my plants. And for the most part, most of my plants just need to be watered once a week. There are some that I know that they have higher watering needs, so I have to check in with them midweek. So for the most part, most of my plants just need to be watered once a week. And my watering days are Thursdays and Fridays. And I break it up into 2 days because I have so many plants. I have probably, at this point, I have over 300 plants, and that doesn't count like propagations, which, by the way, my grow tent, I have to water in there daily, which is surprising to me because I figured with the humidity, it would like, things would stay wet longer, but that's not the case. I think it's because of the fans are running, and it gets warm in that tent, so it has some quite higher, it needs my attention every day. But my plants that are like in this room and the other rooms in my house, just once a week for most of them. Okay, so let me show you my supplies, what I use when I water my plants. So pretty much everything is here. Some things are on the floor. Nora is here. She likes to hang out in the window or just hang out in the room with me when I'm watering my plants. So of course I need my watering bucket, my watering can. That's what this is. I have my fertilizers here, and I have a very important piece for me. This is a turkey baster. I'll show you what I do with that. And then my moisture meter. And then also, I need a bucket and, of course, some water. Okay, so as far as the fertilizers, what I do is I fertilize every other week. But now I've added something new to my little arsenal, and that is the mycorrhizae, which is a bacteria. And so one week I will fertilize my plants, and then the next week I'll give them this. This is supposed to be used every other week. And basically, I mean, I'm not going to go like totally into what it is, but it's a bacteria. It's supposed to help your roots grow. It's supposed to grow healthy, strong roots, and it's supposed to help those roots absorb the nutrients from the soil better. So that's why I started using this. I've only been using it for a little bit, so I can't really say if I've noticed a difference yet, but supposedly it works, so we'll see. I also use this when I do transplanting, like when I repot plants. That's good for that. And so yeah, I use that. So there are a few different fertilizers I use, but my main one for most of my plants that I like to use is the Fox Farm Grow Big. And by the way, these products I'm talking about here, of course, they're not sponsored at all, but I'm going to link them in the description in case you want to try them out. I've had, you know, I like these products. You know, like this one is new, so I can't really say yet, but for the most part, everything else here you're going to see, these products are working for me. I really like these products. So I use this for most of my plants. Most of my plants get this. All right, so another fertilizer I like to use is liquid dirt. And this I use for my plants that are in pond, in my DIY pond mixture. I just feel like this is safer for those plants because they're like constantly sitting, they're constantly wet and they're sitting in this fertilized water. And I feel like this is like a more natural product as opposed to this, which is like a chemical. And I just feel like it'd be safer for the roots. So I mix this in regular tap water. It's like, I think it's 1 capful per gallon. And I have my little gallon container sitting right here, which I do need to mix up more, but so this is my liquid dirt water for my plants that are potted in pond. Okay, so the last fertilizer that I will use is this. This is African Violet Food, and it's only used for my African violets. And I have another another gallon container that's in my closet there that's already mixed up, and I forgot to bring it out. But so that's ready to go for when I need to water my African violets. And I think that's it as far as my fertilizing. So now let's go into what I do with these things here. Okay, so first we're going to look at the turkey baster. This is one of my most invaluable tools that I use when I'm watering plants. So basically, like up here, oops, up here, you can't see it. Let me pan up. Okay, so up here, plants that I'm not easily able to bring down and water and drain into my bucket, I have to just water them right up there. And then, so what I do is I water the plant, the water drains out into the drain tray, and then I just like suck out that water and dump it into my bucket here on the ground. So this is great. This is a great tool. Highly recommend one of these. So also, I don't always get all the water out on some of my plants because like for instance, this one I will leave. It depends on how much water gets drained out. If I will suck it out of there, because some of these plants it's kind of like bottom watering then. And like this one is in terracotta, and the terracotta, it really absorbs that water fast. So, but like plants that are in like some of my syngoniums over here that are not in terracotta, or they're like in plastic pots, that moisture is not going to be wicked away like it does in terracotta. I'll use the turkey baster on that many times. So yeah. All right, so the next tool I like to use is a moisture meter. And this is another one of those tools for, I don't know why some people don't like these. I use this all the time. It helps me so much. Like some of my plants, like my plants in terracotta, they're the easiest to know when to water. You can just feel how the weight of the pot, and they tend to dry out the fastest. But plants that are in like plastic containers, I use this. This helps me so much to know if I need to water or not. So you'll see me in this video when I'm watering stuff, you'll see me using this quite a bit. Okay, so I think that is everything covered. I think that covers everything. So now let's just get started. Let's start watering some stuff. So if you want to water some stuff, grab your supplies and water along with me. Yeah, let's go. All right, so I always start my first place I go when I'm watering in this room is to this shelving unit, because it has pretty much the most plants located on here. So, and then I start at the top and I work my way down. So let's do it. So like this one here, this is my Hoya obovata variegata. And this one is it's a terracotta pot, but it's like glazed on the outside. So I go ahead and, since it's still easy to take down off of that shelf, I just drain it right into a bucket. So I'll show you how I do that, and then we'll continue on. So now with this plant, see how it's draining out? It drains right into the bucket. I actually goofed here because I'm trying to, get this filmed for you guys, and normally I would have checked the soil first to see if this even needed water, and I forgot to do that. So hopefully this will be okay, right? I didn't put as much water in there as I normally would because of the fact that I forgot to check it like a dummy. So I just want to see real quick here. So it's pretty wet. Yeah, it's pretty wet. So that's all the water I'm going to give this one. So yeah, I forgot to use my moisture meter. It probably really, I think I watered it last week, so it may not have needed water. I don't know. Hopefully we'll be okay. So let me put this one back. So this is pre-mixed water with fertilizer. This is the Grow Big, the Fox Farm Grow Big fertilizer in this, mixed with just tap water. I just repurposed these distilled water containers, fill them with tap water, So this one here is completely dry, this is a very thirsty plant. This is my crazy Hoya cumingiana, and I'm just letting it grow. Like, instead of trellising it, I decided to just let it just do its thing. It's pretty wacky, huh? This one always needs water every single time, every week. And I don't know if you noticed when I was watering this one right here, this is the Hoya verticillata variegata. When I was watering that one, you might have saw I tipped it over. I don't know if the camera, if it's too far away for you to see that, but I'm gonna do the same with this one. So it's just kind of slow to drain. So in that case, I'll tip it. And it's dripping down my arm, of course. But I'll just get that extra water out by tipping it. And I think that really helps. It really helps because the bark and stuff, the soil in there has absorbed the water, but that little extra at the very bottom stuck in my hair. When I tip it, just so I know it's not sitting in water. So this here is one of my plants that is it's in pon, and the container is completely dried out. So this is where, in this case, I use my liquid dirt mixed with water, and I just pour it in there. All right, so I have a couple of plants that are on cork bark, and these guys I just take they hang on the wall, and I just take them right off the wall, and I just water it right, just like this. It absorbs the water. So these guys, when I first made these cork bark, these are Discidias. When I first put them on the cork bark, I was like misting them every day, and I was watering every other day, and that was a year ago. Yeah, about a year ago that I made these, and since then I've kind of gotten lazy with these guys, and now I just do this once a week, and they're doing fine. They're not like, I wouldn't say they're thriving, but they're not dying. And this one is even getting flowers. And yeah, so then I just stick it back on the wall, and then I have a little water catch tray underneath there to catch any of the water that continues to drip. And that just works out fine. I've been thinking about actually taking these off of the cork bark and just potting them up like a regular plant, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. All right, so here I'm going to be filling my African violet reservoirs with water, and I've changed out the other fertilized water I was using, and now I'm using the African violet fertilizer water. So we're just gonna fill these back up. So the last thing I need to do is the terrarium, and so I skipped over my other terrariums because they're enclosed and completely enclosed, and they just don't need water. They just stay so moist that you don't have to water those at all. But now this one, it's kind of open here in the back, so this one does evaporate. It does have evaporation. So basically what I do on this one is if I see the sides are looking dry, I'll take my watering can and I'll go ahead and water some of these big plants like the begonias and all the photonias. So right now I'm looking, they might be able to use a little bit of water. So I'm going to go ahead. So I only use distilled water in the terrarium. So I'm going to go ahead and take this top off so I can get in there easily. I'll go ahead and water. So basically I just water like against the glass there. And then sometimes I'll also use my moisture meter just to see just how wet it is in there. So it's reading, it's not wet. It's kind of in the middle on my moisture meter.
So that's it. I completed all of my watering in here. It took about 2 hours, which it normally does not take me that long. It just took that long because I'm filming, and thank goodness it doesn't normally take me that long because that's kind of stressful. That's not a relaxing watering day for me. So, but I'm glad I was able to show you guys what my routine looks like. The things I use. Hopefully that was a little educational, at least a little bit educational for you guys. Let me know if any of my techniques are the same that you use, or if you have any recommendations for me, things that make your watering day easier. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.